Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and today is a how to kill a kit with style hop. So the theme for this hop was, of course, using your stash. And you guys know this month my kit is a Felicity Jane kit, but I have put an emphasis on pulling from other Felicity Jane stash while I use this product. But for this hop in particular, since that was the focus, I really wanted to make a point to pull in as many different Felicity Jane collections as possible on this one page. So you can see I'm starting with my Julia collection. This is the base of the product I'm trying to use this month. I have this really fun star background. I have a scrap of this kind of corally solid, and now I'm just pulling in some other scraps from my stash. I have a scrap of this wood grain from a previous layout. I have one of those 6x6 pieces from the Felicity Jane grab bag, and I'm just going to start doing some layers here. I'm doing a simple white and black mat around my photo. This photo is from Marcus's and my mini honeymoon when we were at Barnsley Gardens. Almost every night we went out to the fire pits. They always provide a bunch of different fire pits. They'll set them up for you. They kind of have a s'mores bar. One night we ordered a charcuterie board from one of the restaurants and had it delivered. We brought our own wine because their wine is expensive, but it was one of the things we did the most while we were gone. We were only here for 3 nights and 2 days, so we didn't have a ton of time, but one of the things we really did were these fire pits whenever we got a chance, especially once it got dark. So I'm kind of trying to focus my color schemes and the colors I'm pulling from all these different collections to be based around this photo. I already love that I have a star motif going on because it is dark and it's nighttime, but the color, I do want pops of color that kind of tie into this fire, that warmer kind of reds, oranges, even the pinks I feel go. So that's kind of where I'm starting product wise and why I'm pulling in all of these different pinks. I have that one pocket card from, I don't even know what collection that's from. I'm pretty sure that is also kind of a grab bag situation that I got from Felicity Jane. I am going to pull in some chipboard from the Reese collection, a puffy sticker from the Amber collection. I have some scraps of paper from the Rebecca collection. So I'm really trying to just pull a lot in here, and I kind of like this layering I'm going for. It kind of creates this L design. I'm not planning on this solid running to the top of the page. I just don't know where I want to cut it yet. But now that I've had a couple layers down, I kind of know where I want it, and I'm gutting these things still because I'm trying to get several more layouts done this month. But that's kind of why I hadn't trimmed it yet, was I wasn't sure how much I wanted that coral to show. But now that I have the mats around my photo, I have the scrap of the wood grain, I have that black and white stripe, I thought I kind of liked the coral in the shape that it is now. And you could also see where I added those Rebecca scraps horizontally, and I really like that because it kind of pulls in all of the different colors I'm trying to tie in. It kind of has that corally red, it has some yellow, it has some pink, so I think that little scrap really helps tie the color story together. And I also like this pocket card. It's going to serve as my my title, but I also like that it's multiple shades of pink, so I can kind of mix and match my pinks from Felicity Jane, and they all kind of work because I have this one piece that pulls multiple pinks in. So that's kind of my thought process behind that as well. The back side of this coral solid is this pink, so I decided to also use the pink side as a layer, so you can see I'm just piecing that together now as a little horizontal strip. And something I kind of have to play around with as I build this page, I really like this white and black star background. But in a couple situations, I kind of feel like these layers are blending into the background. The black and white stripe is getting blended into the background. Even this light pink, it's not really standing up much because of that star print. So I am going to be pulling in a couple scraps of black from my stash just to add some extra layers and kind of pump up the boldness a little bit. I love the black stars, and I kind of want to pull more black into the layers. And I really think this does a lot to help these pieces stand out a little more. So you can kind of see what it looks like before and after I add the black, and I just love how the black looks. And I even did a torn detail on the one edge just to add a little bit more texture and interest. But that was kind of my thought process of adding that. And you'll also see I go in with another piece of black to do that with some of the more vertical layers. I'm trying to find some more layers I can pull in. I thought about using this pocket card. It has that same kind of coral, but with the white stripes, it was just, again, blending into the white of the background. So I decided to go in with one of the branding strips that, again, had multiple shades of pink. I love this branding strip. I just like the repetition of kind of mashing all these pinks together, and I think that really helps when you're pulling across multiple collections, because everything kind of feels like it belongs when you have those kind of pieces. So I'm, again, even being frugal with the branding strips, I'm really trying to get a lot done this month. So even the branding strip, there's a chunk of it that is hidden behind the wood grain layer. So I'm just going to, again, just save that piece since it's not going to be seen anyways. So I'm just measuring there to do my cuts and getting this horizontal layer down, and I really like that. I'm trying to remember what I do next. You kind of see all of these black pieces. So when Allie had sent me my little Felicity Jane kit, you guys saw me use it for one of my How to Kill a Kit with styles a while ago, but she also included some things from her stash that look really cool with Felicity Jane, and they're not things I would have thought to pull in myself. And one of the things that she gave me were these black labels. I actually used a lot of them when I used her kit, but I had a ton left over, and they kind of sit next to me on my desk so I don't forget about them, but then they've sat on my desk for so long that I forget about them because I just overlook them in plain sight. But since I was making a point to go through all my Felicity Jane stuff, the container I keep these in also have some Felicity Jane scraps, so that's kind of how I refound them, and I really wanted to get at least one of those on this layout just because I did use that with Felicity Jane stuff, and we're trying to use our stash, so I thought it would be appropriate to try to pull one of those in. I also liked how bold and black it was because I am adding these pops of black. Here you can see another scrap of black I'm adding to my layers, and I just think this really helps pump up the boldness and keep some of these layers separate from the background. So now you can really see that black and white stripe is defined and you're not losing it with the star paper. And now that I'm pretty happy with the size of my layers, I'm going to go ahead and gut the star paper just so I can save a chunk of that for a future layout as well. I kind of know where all these layers are going to go, so I'm happy to commit now. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I can do that. I'm just going to back this in another scrap piece of black. I have hundreds of these black kind of cheap papers in my collection, my stash, so I tried to use them this way, and I even trimmed down the star paper a little bit so that there's a black frame around the edge, and I just like emphasizing again that black. I think it adds a lot of interest. So now that this is all glued together, I'm going to go ahead and glue my layers down. I know I'm going to add at least one more layer to all of this, but I don't know if I do it yet or not. I'm kind of looking at this layout and I love the layers that are happening, but I do want an embellishment cluster in the upper right hand corner to kind of offset all of these layers that are towards the bottom left. And I definitely want to try to use one of these chipboard circular pieces that come in this collection. I've really been trying to get these on every page this month, and I don't think I've succeeded so far, but I really wanted to use this Coralie Smile one just to pull that color to the top. Here you can see me going through some of my old How to Kill a Kit with Style scraps. I have the Reese collection here that has a pink label I thought I could pull in because I need some pink up there as well. And then there's also that pink and coral grid you guys have seen me use multiple times this month. I also thought that that fit into my color scheme, so I'll get another piece of that grid used up as well. But this is kind of what I decided to do for that cluster. I made a little fishtail banner out of a scrap of that wood grain, so that wood grain was also balanced. I have my coral chipboard piece. I pull that color in, the pink label, and I'm layering that all on the black circular label from Allie, and I think that kind of mimics the layers I have around the photo really nicely. So that's kind of how I'm going to leave the top cluster. I think it looks really cute. I added one of those wreath hearts and I'll also use those wreath hearts around my photo too once I kind of know more where I want my embellishment. I have a pink die cut from the Julia collection that says "This Moment," so I'm popping that up on some foam to create a little bit of interest above the photo. And I'm thinking the last area of interest is kind of already the pocket card that has my title on it, so I'm thinking that's where I will embellish with the hearts. So you saw I added a couple over to the Finding Joy in Everyday Things. And now I'm going to, I don't know if I glue down that die cut yet, but I'll have some hearts up there by the pink This Moment die cut too. But here are the scraps of that grid. I think that perfectly ties this coral and pink together, having them both on that one pattern. So I really like that. I'm just adding that to the top and bottom of my layers. And now I'm securing a little bit more of these loose layers, I guess. But back to this one cluster, I'm going to pop this This Moment up on some foam and commit to sticking that down and adding a couple more of those hearts. I can't see if I've done it yet or not, but I did add, I think I did, the yellowy puffy sticker scallop from the Amber collection. And I like that pop of yellow too. But that's pretty much it. I'm so happy with how many different Flistine collections I got pulled in on this layout. Here are the close-ups. Make sure you check out everyone else with How to Kill a Kit with Style to see what they did for this hop. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.